live.
I know. It says you're live, but it's like...
But it's dim.
Yeah. So hello, everybody. Happy hump day.
Oh, it's Wednesday already.
Yup.
Days fly by.
That could be a good thing. I got hair.
Okay.
Actually, there were a few people who stirring your fizz with a fork? That's weird. I had posted asking if we should keep our lunchtime talk lunchtime with M&M. And the consensus basically says yes. No one really came up with anything in particular other than Corona and lime with Mike and Mandee. But we're drinking fizzies.
M&M's for lunch.
Yes, M&M's for lunch, basically. But then they're all like, oh, well, that could be copyright. Hi, guys. Hello.
You just spell it differently, like M&M, the rapper.
Like M and M?
Yeah.
Like Emily? M&M?
Yeah, so instead of using the and sign, just put M and then spell out and then put an M. How about that?
I don't know how I feel about that.
Then it's not the same as the M&M candy.
But then I don't know, I suppose.
Whatever.
So we just learned, well, I guess I just learned.
You just learned. She never likes any of my ideas. Ever.
This is how our day has gone so far. We just apparently bantered previously per his Google
We were practicing
research.
banter.
Yes, because I told Mike to grab, what did I tell you to do? Something about a drink. I told you to
I don't know.
I told you to pick a drink.
It was nothing worthwhile fighting about.
No, but here we are. How are we doing? How are we feeling? Oh, yes,
Midday
guys.
madness with my
Tell me, how was yesterday's video? Please tell me. We've gotten such great feedback from that. Loved it. Yes, he had a few margaritas. It took a few liquid beverages to talk him into doing that.
I don't think you talked me into doing it. You just said, hey,
we're
going to the shop. And I said, okay. And then we sat down at a table and you proceeded to put a blindfold on me, and then the rest is on the video.
Yeah, it was great.
I had no idea what was going on.
I'm already in the works of like what we could possibly do next. Maybe I'd let you run the show on the next one.
I
doubt it.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably not. So Drunk Mike is funny. He really is. I know he really is. Everyone says we need more Drunk Mike.
Okay.
I think you guys, it
you
takes...
buy the alcohol.
Oh, wait, we split that one, didn't we? That was our alcohol run when we thought that like liquor stores would close, but evidently they're essentials these days.
Essential. That's very essential, apparently.
I guess. So I like hopped on that.
It's interesting how they choose what's essential and what's not.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so John Doe. Hello, John Doe. Nice to see you again. Besides racing, what are your interests and hobbies? Michael, you start.
I like to build things. I like fabrication, and I like working with my hands. That's what I like to do. So basically, I just apply that to racing.
Yeah. To
build stuff for the race cars and for the trailer and the shop and everything. But
basketball. You like another sport?
Sports. Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought.
For sports, I like basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know much else outside of what I do other than racing. I like arts and crafts. I used to do gymnastics. I like to work out. I feel like working out is my hobby. It is kind of a hobby for both of us. We like working out. Yeah. I mean, that's really the only other thing that we do besides our said job. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And more specifically, Mandee likes workouts that are like mid-tempo with mid-range weights. It's kind of like a medium workout.
Excuse you?
Well, you're not like a heavy lifter, and you're not like a sprinter.
You don't. Okay, my shoulders.
You're kind of like right in the middle.
You want to talk about whose shoulders are bigger than whose?
Yeah, you have You have very strong shoulders and back, and
Yes.
strong legs.
Yes. Yes, you should have seen him doing
I was a little lazy
slow
this morning.
sumo squats this morning. It was so painful.
I was doing my slow sumo squats fine. I just didn't want to do the wall squats.
Oh, it was wall squats. So we did the wall squat, and then so I don't know how to do this. I don't know. You put one leg up and down, and he wasn't having it.
Well, the floor was slippery. I was falling down.
And he was wearing his shoes, and he refused to take them off. Whatever. So that's what we enjoy doing.
James Lodge asked what my favorite sports teams are. I like Syracuse basketball.
You do.
It's the only thing I watch.
Yeah, I don't watch anything. I'm lucky if I watch the last 10 laps of a NASCAR race. Don't judge me on that. Mike, where are you racing tonight?
Oh, tonight on iRacing, there is a World of Outlaws sprint car race at Volusia Speedway. And there's going to be a number of World of Outlaws sprint car drivers.
Where do people watch this?
Where can they watch it?
Yeah.
I'm assuming if you go to any like World of Outlaw or Dirt Car social media, they'll show you where to watch it.
Okay,
because they're the ones broadcasting it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be really interesting because I didn't finish. There's World of Outlaws sprint car drivers and some World of Outlaw late model drivers. I think there's a list, but I think I heard like Ron Capps is running.
I think so. Isn't that
drag
racing, right?
Yeah.
It's like a whole mix.
It's a whole mix of all different people. From the dirt mod world, I think it's just me and Max McLaughlin.
You're saying it's on Dirt Vision? It's going to be on Dirt Vision?
Oh, that makes sense because they are the ones putting it on. Dirt Cars putting it on. Sorry.
Oh, Joe Collins. What's your favorite Hershey candy? Ooh, that's a great question. What's Hershey candy? I'm going to look that one up.
Corey Brown asked if I qualified for the feature. The qualifying isn't until tonight, so I don't know yet. I hope so.
Hershey candy. I'm not really sure what Hershey makes a lot of candies. Butterfingers are good. He likes Reese's Pieces. Does Hershey's make Reese's Pieces? I think they do.
I think that's Mars. It's Mars, isn't it?
It's Hershey's. Reese's. Right there. Hershey's. Hershey's website. Reese's.
Oh.
Cake. The mini eggs are good. Why did you get me on this candy rant? But yeah.
Because you're talking about M&M's.
Well, I was asked about what kind of candy.
M&M's are Mars, aren't they?
Oh, God, that's such a... I'm not going to waste my time looking that up, but it's quite possible. Mike, do you think Big Block... Oh, sorry. Jason White asks... I'm going to get the hang of this eventually.
Yeah.
Mike, do you think Big Block Modifieds can extend to other states other than the states we have right now?
Absolutely.
Can.
All it takes...
Yes.
All it takes is a racetrack that wants to see us race there.
Mm-hmm.
All they have to do is put up the purse, and we'll come, and hopefully we bring in the fans,
mm-hmm.
and it makes it worthwhile for them to have the race.
Yeah.
And if it's worthwhile, then they'll do it again.
I mean, no one's really accepted us other than Ohio. And that's it.
The tricky thing is the time of year when the tracks really get a lot of fans is like the middle of the summer, and we're so busy racing up here that there's like no time in the schedule to go race in the south at the west.
Really, if you think about it, like there's only so many big events that we can have. You know, like unless there's going to be a Joe Schmo that's going to put up a race on a Saturday where like 85% of us are running for points.
Yeah, that is
and
the problem.
All
the
of
weekly racing
yeah.
takes over all the Saturday nights. So then in the middle of the summer,
Fridays, Saturdays.
You can't go to a special event in July.
I mean, you know when the 76er is going to be, right? Like, you know when it's going to be. That date is basically like sanctioned until forever. That's going to be 76er. Right. Or like, I'm just thinking the Cold Cracker Big Diamond, you always know it's Labor Day Sunday, right? Like Labor Day double play at Wheat Sport, it's always on Labor Day.
So you're limited to after Labor Day until it snows. and before mid-April is when depends on where your track is. The tracks down south start so early. It might be early April that they start their weekly racing. So from April until Labor Day, there's no dates available for us to have a special event somewhere. So that kind of limits us to being here.
Yeah, exactly. So really, yeah, it's hard. This guy our neighbor always leaves. I wish he would just wave. I'd wave back to him at the same time.
Did he look at you?
No.
Oh.
So sad. I haven't met him yet. But anyways, so so it's kind of hard for us to really venture elsewhere because all these dates are already like set in stone for the majority. I mean, the Centennial, they got somewhat lucky unless people worked with them and changed things this past year, right? I mean, yeah, you're reading.
I just pulled a Mandee.
I noticed.
I was trying to get ahead on the question thing, and I'm like, she's gonna ramble on, and then once she's done, I'll read a question.
Go ahead.
That's what my thing was.
Go ahead.
I didn't come up with one yet.
Seriously,
Yeah.
after all that, Zach asked, Mandee, have you ever been to Hagerstown Speedway or Oktoberfest with your dad? Heck yes, I have. That was great. Have you ever been to Oktoberfest?
No.
No.
I've never been to Hagerstown Speedway.
Cool track.
A lot of old the historical races like Syracuse and Hagerstown and all those ones that everybody talks about. I was never around for any of that.
He was too busy farming. It was in October.
Yeah.
Actually, fun story about that every time someone asks me about Hagerstown, I'm like 85% positive on this story. Was that the first time, it was back when my dad raced sprint cars, and the first time they went, our roles have reversed. I'm being really bad at telling stories right now. Try this again. Dad's been to Hagerstown before. They were running sprint cars. Freddie Raymer comes to Hagerstown. Freddie asked my dad for advice, and my dad tells him, Fred, don't go to the top of the track because cars end up going off the backstretch into the creek. And you know what happened?
He went off the track into the creek.
No. Freddie was so scared to go off the track and into the creek that he rode around the bottom, and my dad blew right by him on top.
Oh. See, that sounds like something your dad would do.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one was hilarious.
He loves to get in your head.
He's a ball buster. Yes, he does. Smart, though. It worked.
Mm-hmm.
But we're all friends now. It's cool. I love Freddie.
What Noah Sherman asks, Mike, have you ever got the black flag? Now, interesting.
I've gotten moved
point
over
here. I've definitely gotten the black flag, but there's a number of reasons you can get the black flag. You could get it for, I think the most people think it's for aggressive driving, but it could be because you jumped a restart too many times. It could be because
you brought the yellow 3 times. Did you just say that?
No.
Okay.
It could be because there's something hanging off your car and you need to go to the pits to fix it. There's a number of reasons. The black flag is just there to show you either go to the tail or go to the pits, and it kind of gives the fans the notion nowadays we have radios, so they tell us what's wrong. And then the black flag kind of tells the fans, oh, that's why that guy's not leading anymore.
And
he got the black flag.
And if you're not listening to the radio and you get black flag, then you're really in big trouble.
I would highly suggest any fan that really wants to know what's going on in the racetrack, get a receiver.
Yes.
It's really important to know what's going on.
I'm pretty sure it was Port. Yeah, I'm 99% positive Port Royal did this last year. Is that on Race Monitor app? Because I tweeted once when you were in Canada at some track, I could actually listen to the race director make the calls while watching on Race Monitor. So I'm watching the stuff. I'm hearing the calls that are being made. I'm like, oh crap, yellow's out. Why? But I tweeted that Port Royal did it, and then I listened to it, and it's great because then you don't have to go out and buy the receiver to listen to it. Right?
They're expensive. You don't need to go out and spend that money on it.
I don't know to the extent that the tracks have to do to be able to allow that or offer that program when you watch on Race Monitor, but I think it is awesome. I mean, I think that's great. I love
It's handy.
that. Haha. Brandon says, Mandee, Arbonne would definitely look like a great sponsor being on site of Mike's in both your brother and your dad's cars. Well, you see now, the thoughts crossed my mind. As far as that's gone. It's crossed my mind as we're drinking our fizz sticks. Cheers.
Caleb Durgan asked how many people advanced to the A main tonight. I don't know, but from previous experience, I hope it's less than 20 because if they put too many cars in the race, they just start jumping all over the place. You can't, like, it just messes up the server. So,
someone had asked, oh no, where's the speed? Oh, Scott asked, okay, so I'm from the Midwest, Illinois. Hello from Illinois. What is a speedster and what's it compared to? It's a really, really big midget.
A big midget?
A big boxed midget.
Okay. It's not any bigger. I mean, it's slightly bigger than a midget.
It's just bulkier than a midget.
But the parts and components on it are built to be much more affordable than a midget because all the midget parts are super light so that they don't weigh anything and they can accelerate really hard. Mm-hmm. So obviously the speedsters aren't as fast as a midget, but they're about a third or a quarter of the cost of a midget. So the motors are spec.
Oh, look, more neighbors.
The parts are spec. You get everything from one place and it's all very affordable. You can get a speedster and race for about $18,000 where a midget that wouldn't even get you the wheels.
Yeah. I mean, the idea of the speedster class, at least in our really, because it's just Northeast, is to get people to start somewhere that want to race, rather than just jumping into modifieds or sprint cars and like spending bukus of money. You get your feet wet, and that's really a really good class to start.
Yep, and
they're really good. They're fun.
Speedway Entertainment has also put a lot of effort into making the purses for the speedsters higher than they are for most midget races. Mm-hmm. So now you've got a purse that you can race for and actually cover the cost of the racing.
Yeah.
Where since the car is cheaper and the purse is higher, it makes it more effective. And that brought in a lot of good drivers, and they had some great racing at Action Track. So
Noah Sherman asked, what is your favorite Northeast track? I'll let you go first. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I don't know. I like them all, but I've always loved Fulton. I say that every time.
Yeah. How about a non-modified track?
Oh, non-modified track?
I'm just putting that in there because we already know that.
Okay. Non-modified track. You go, because I can't think of a non-modified track. Where do we not race modified?
Port Royal's not modified like weekly.
Okay. Well, I love that track.
Amazing. Yeah, but you can't take my track, so you got to come up with another one.
Not Port Royal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Really?
I honestly can't think of a track that we don't race at. Where do we not race?
Okay, that's true. You're true. You're right. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's see what other questions. Yeah, any track with ice cream. Yep, Port Royal has ice cream. Are fizz sticks good for hangovers? Yes, they are. Are we racing Big Diamond this year? I know. Sorry. Waylon Bender asked, are you racing at Big Diamond this year?
Billy Pauch Jr. is racing.
Billy's running there weekly. If we make it for the North and South shootout, I think that's June.
Yeah, there'll be a combo short track Super Series race there that I should be at. And Jeff Wayman asked Sealands Grove. I think that should be rescheduled, maybe.
I heard it was. I hope so. Okay, Mike Cummins asked, have you ever been to a track in the Northwest?
Northwest. I have never even been to the Northwest.
No.
Ever.
I'd like to. That'd be cool. Is it at least getting warmer? I go where it's warm. Because there's
I
snow
don't
on
think the
ground.
Northwest is warm.
It's probably the same temperature it is right now.
It's
where
probably
we
the
are.
same as here.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. There you go. Answer Jordan. Hey Jordan, I'm glad you're joining us every day.
Read
This
the
is
question,
great.
so I don't have to find it.
Seriously,
There's
he
all-
asked. Jordan asked, "Are we making another trip to Big Diamonds together?"
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do that. I'd love to.
I have Jason White asked if I've ever heard or watched Tanner Holmes. He's the one that is a sprint car vlogger, right? I've heard of him. I think I might have watched. I think he's younger, isn't he? That's obviously a no. I'm sorry. Mike tells me all the time that I don't answer the question. I just go into a description and then I answer the question. So I don't personally know him.
So the answer was no.
Yes.
Okay, next question.
Never been to I-76 Speedway, Shane Scott asked, or that's in Colorado.
Skagit Speedway in Washington State. The weather is mild there. Love to go there. I played it on the video game.
Have you?
Yeah.
James Brown asks, are all tracks half mile or quarter mile is what I'm guessing that says.
Are you all track? Okay, our tracks range from less than a quarter mile to more than a half mile, but I don't think any of them are more than 3/4 of a mile. Right.
I mean, we used to run Syracuse. That was a mile.
Yeah, but that's not there anymore. Now the biggest track would have been Bridgeport's now smaller, so
that was 5/8. How big is Lebanon? It just feels big.
It feels like 3/4, but it's probably called 5/8. I don't know.
Fartbox 85, great one. Mike, which do you prefer, big block or small block?
It's a multi-part question. So I like, if you're comparing like spec small block to big block, I like the big block. But if you're comparing like open small block to big block, I would probably choose to drive the open small block. But if you're looking at buying one or the other, it's just cheaper to not have the open stuff. I don't know. The open stuff seems to be more expensive because it's just like unlimited. You do whatever you want.
Raymond Little Hawk. We're gonna exclude your father. So Mike, who was your favorite driver when you were a kid? Other than your father, who did you look up to? I'll run with mine while he thinks because I just know it. I always looked up, I don't know, don't judge, but Freddie Raymer.
Okay.
He was at the time, like in sprint car racing, was dad's competitor, but yet they still had fun. So I knew like he was a decent person. And I always like to make that connection on and off the track. So he was definitely outside of my dad and my brother. It was Freddie.
Okay. So that's in the sprint car world. He's a good example. Like in the sprint car world for me, I was past the Kinzer, at the Steve Kinzer range. I would watch Donnie Schatz. So I think he's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And then like in Formula One, I would watch Michael Schumacher.
Oh, you're getting serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it depends on the division.
No, you didn't look
in the
up to
modifieds. I liked
modifieds?
watching my dad.
Okay.
Because I only went to the local tracks.
I can't argue that because I only cared about dad.
I didn't go in. I didn't travel at all then. So,
Bob Moore asked, Mike, where did you start racing and how old were you?
Where did I start racing? Okay, so my dad raced and I was crewing for him when I was like 10. And I begged and begged and begged to get a car. And he didn't want to just give it to me. So he wanted to make me work for it. So I like saved up for 3 or 4 years. And we got a slingshot. And I raced slingshots at Paradise in Geneva. And then I moved on to micro sprints and sportsmen and other divisions.
Sorry. Wayne Taylor said you didn't say yesterday what did Dad think of Bridgeport? Dad's excited for Bridgeport. Really excited. You think it's gonna be great. I think he's been there 2 or 3 times since they started basically building the track. I think he was there. I think I told you guys last Monday, week and a half ago, and I said that they really good progress with it. So he's excited. Hey. Don Bender can finally watch us while we're actually live. Hello. There was something I really wanted to tell them, but it's not coming to mind now. What time your sprint car race? Someone asked earlier, can anyone qualify for the Outlaws at Volusia tonight?
No, it's an invitation.
Okay, it's an
invitation. And it was picked based on who has a current dirt car license. And it has an iRacing account and races in either the World of Outlaws sprint cars, late models, or big block modifieds.
Wait, so then how's that drag racer? He has a...
Well, I mean, that's just a cool addition, I think.
Okay. I mean, really, how many of... I'm including me in that, us racers, despite you, like, how often do you have the time to use iRacing that all these drivers just happen to have it? So, yeah, you kind of do have to expand a little bit to those that do have it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did you see any questions?
Don Bender asked, do you think you're still going to have the open house? Are you going to push that back or cancel it? Last night your dad was on
the Beer Hill Gang TV.
Yep, and he announced that they're still promoting the same date.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
July 12th.
Okay.
As long as we're not still cooped up, I have positive thoughts that will be fine. Jordan had asked you, he's thinking about getting iRacing. Is it worth it? Jordan's itching. It's right there.
Okay. Definitely worth it, Jordan. And there's different ways to afford it. The biggest thing it seems like you really need is a really good graphics card in your computer. The steering wheel, there are some awesome ones out there right now that are like getting kind of pricey, like $1,000 to $2,000 for the wheel base, and then like a fancy wheel that goes on it. You don't really have to spend that much. You can be competitive with like a toy wheel. Mm-hmm. But there's certain options that are better than others. I like the Logitech wheels for like the toy wheels because they seem to be like somewhat drivable. Mm-hmm. Some of the other brands are like you can't even drive the car. It's so out of control. So if you can get like an old Logitech G27 wheel or one of the new G29s, they're pretty affordable. Why are you laughing?
read Shane Scott's question.
Shane Scott, are you guys a couple or siblings or both? Well, not both. And not siblings.
I'm tearing up from that. Oh my god. I have had when I was in Florida, someone had commented and was like, so they had made the comment that basically they thought he was my brother, that I was dating my brother. I was like, really? Like, come on. Obviously you have been watching the show. It's fine. No judgment.
Quick to comment, not quick to pay attention.
Yeah. Oh wait. So how many I'm gonna go with Josiah. I probably just murdered that. But how many guys do you need for a crew?
In a dirt modified?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
I'm gonna say at least.
Yeah, you need to. You need one really good guy, and then you need like some extra hands. And then the more good guys you have that know what they're doing, the easier it is. I'd say that it helps to have people that know their stuff.
I understand now. Okay, Shane, if you're new, welcome. He asked, can you kind of explain the family dynamics of who our fathers are? Understood. So if you're just popping in and we're like, I know it's the blue-eyed, like dirty blonde hair. We could possibly pass. I mean,
No.
He's like, no. So would you like to explain?
Okay, I'll tell him who your father is, and you tell him who my father is.
Okay.
Okay. Mandee's father is a legend in dirt racing and asphalt because he's won like 700 and some feature wins in all around the Northeast, and he's raced sprint cars, modifieds, pavement modifieds. I mean, any division you can think of, he's been in it and won in it, and he's won in a ridiculous amount of tracks, and he's got a whole showroom to prove it that you can go see at the open house. So
you're gonna make me look bad.
That's where she came from.
I still love you, Jim. I don't know these facts. Jim Mahaney is Michael's father. He is a farmer, full-time farmer, and also raced. I think he raced up until like a few years ago, but mainly modifieds in the New York State area.
So, in kind of opposite, my dad was more of the weekend racer.
Yes.
That worked a different job for a living.
Like he farmed and went racing. My dad just raced.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then that is how we combined, and here we are. We are not related, full disclosure, but we are together. As far as I'm aware. I think if there's one question you'd like to answer, we are a minute over, so up to you, honey.
Trevor Moon said you need 5 crew members: the driver, the tire guy, maintenance, crew chief, and an extra guy. Okay.
Maintenance, crew chief can both be the driver. Well, the driver can actually do everything. But you can't rely on that one person to do everything. No, absolutely. I look at it as to not only just be successful, but to be somewhat competitive. I say 2 plus the driver. That way, when you come in for a pit stop, you're going to need one person checking the car and one person taking the tire off.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I mean, if you get above and beyond, that's great, but yeah, you don't need a whole lot. But as long as you have it, I look at it as you're better to have like 3 good people than 100 somewhat decent people running around. Oh my, I said we're running out of time and you guys start throwing questions out. Come on.
Fartbox85 asked,
hello again,
Mike, what's the biggest purse you've ever raced for? Last year they had the Centennial race at Orange County Fair Speedway for $100,000 to win. And I think they were like 11th. 10th.
No, I think we were 11th. Yeah, wow. that race was like, it didn't end until I think 2 a.m. It was nuts. We
had some weather issues.
Yeah.
Shane Scott said I farm and weekend race.
Oh, good.
As soon as the COVID goes away.
Oh yeah, that's so true. Okay. Oh, I'll answer Cassie's question last. So, Mandee, have you ever raced a sportsman or modified? I've raced with the modifieds, but in a sportsman. So just sportsman technically. Because I never really actually drove modified. I've driven one in our backyard. But not... I've raced a sprint car in our backyard. But that's as far as that goes. So, okay. Love you all. So if we didn't get your questions, we'll be back tomorrow, right?
Yep.
And hopefully we'll be more energized and pumped. I should have drank a fizz stick before this, but it's okay. Tomorrow's going to be a better day.
Thanks for coming on.
See you guys
tomorrow. Nice seeing you guys.
Mike's like, I'm out. See ya.